Good afternoon, evening, or whatever it may be, wherever you happen to be. This is Peter Bowman, and we are back with a new Feng Shui role-playing game, sort of.
Huzzah!
Woo!
Check that off your apocalypse bingo.
It's still morning for me.
No matter what time it is, it's morning.
So yes, we are
Life goes
doing
life.
a new game using the second edition Feng Shui rules because I decided I want to run a game using the rules that are actually in print.
Mm-hmm.
It's a novel concept.
Yeah, it's astonishing, isn't it? But we are doing a fantasy game because both Eric and I have been sort of itching to do a fantasy game for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I came up with a concept that I realized all of a sudden was like, hey, wait a minute, I can map this. This could map to Feng Shui brilliantly.
Mm-hmm.
So we are doing what I'm dubbing, for the time being at least, until I come up with a better name, the Tales of the Tower of Ivory.
Are you okay there, Skitch?
God damn.
I think you just killed Skitch.
Did I?
Oh, just call me. Go ahead. Just go ahead. I'm just.
All right. So this is a campaign set in a fantasy setting that is largely inspired by many classic D&D settings. That said, the players are going to be playing the minions of an evil lich I can talk. An evil lich overlord. Where the terms evil, lich, and overlord are all in air quotes. Overlord might be accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Evil is debatable.
boss.
Lich is actually factually incorrect, but but a lot of people actually don't know that.
Yeah, he's just wearing a rubber mask. He is.
Joe
Old man
Barbera.
withers the whole time.
I think it's actually red herring.
Oh, that's good. God.
It's gotta be red herring. It's gotta be.
So,
Oh, we're old.
you're old.
You're old.
I said we.
Yeah, I was in college when that was on TV. Screw you.
I said we.
Y'all are youngsters.
As Win is thrown off the cliff, I said we.
As I'm
All right.
corrected into silence.
So yeah, we're using the Feng Shui second edition rules. The players, so everyone's picked an archetype that sort of expresses the character that they're playing, and have mapped whatever monstrous character they wanted on top of said archetype. Important notes. Okay, so this is something the players' characters with the possible Okay, one thing I want you guys to think about before we start is at least one of you is going to be the new guy. I know who my first thought was for that, but
I imagine it might be me.
that was who I was thinking might be an excellent new guy to
It is part of my character's backstory that he used to work for one of the other overlords, so it would make sense. So.
Yes, there are other evil overlords out there. There were 7. Now there's an 8th, which is the person they're working for, Caedrix, I forget what I actually called him.
What are notes?
Notes are the thing I forgot to actually get to bring the document up because I'm a dumbass.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yes, Caedrix the Unliving. He is very clearly undead. He is also very clearly a lizard. Not a lizard, a wizard. Those are very different things.
He could be both.
No, he was human.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he is not so much a lich as closer to a revenant. His basic backstory is he was he was an academic wizard who was big into research, obsessive even, obsessive to the point that he was in the middle of doing some research when he died of natural causes. Then got back up and continued researching because he wasn't done yet. Unfortunately, people kind of assume that undead wizard means lich. So he's been sort of driven off into the wastelands where he has built a magical tower made of ivory, so that on top of a powerful magical locust that he has no idea is nearly as potent as it actually is. This is not what would be a Feng Shui site in regular Feng Shui. Nope, not at all.
I feel terrible for all of the elephants that died for this tower.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, magic was involved. And there's an elephant graveyard somewhere nearby.
Oh, and one really big elephant, you know.
Oh, does that mean that Pride Rock is right over there?
No, Prejudice Rock is, though.
Yeah.
You just got a monkey throwing lion cubs off a cliff all day.
Good, I'm hungry.
Stop landing on your feet!
All right, so one thing I do want you guys...
Mufasa, as Mufasa looks down on the undead wizard and just sighs in Circle of Life.
All right, so before we get further, so yes, there are 7 other Dreadlords whom I will list off very quickly, so that just to get this out of the way, and very short blurbs about them. And there are also lots of other big. The world is populated with a lot of different, like, you know, quote, good guy, end quote, kingdoms. They're totally the heroes of the story. Yes, they are totally. If you believe that, I have a bridge to sell you. But the Dreadlords include the Archlich Jancis Aldor, who he's probably the most powerful of the bunch, or at least a lot of people think he probably is. He was believed to have been vanquished ages ago until he's recently popped back into existence.
We thought you were dead. I wasn't. Okay then.
Lich, hello.
Lich!
Taldrin the Unbroken, who is a powerful Death Knight who leads an army of the dead. There is a Necromancer, Zurus Keterbane, whose goals, no one really knows what his actual goals or their goals are. Murnuria, the Terrible Beauty, who is he is a very interesting individual who he's seeking to ascend to godhood. Yeah, Murnuria is an interesting fellow. Morbask, the Everliving, who is an undead Gnoll warlord, also Gourmand, who seeks supremacy for his people.
Welcome to Flavor Country, everyone.
Wings of Eagles, ruler of the Pride, she is a Tabaxi weretiger and chief of a nomadic tribe of raiders and pillagers. And Jekjial, the crafter of flesh, a beholder who has other abominations under his thrall, or its thrall. Beholders, yeah, it's a beholder. And then we've got Caedrix, the Undying, who has, by dint of having taken control of a nexus of power, is official, and being undead is sort of like officially a Dreadlord.
Congratulations! Here's your certificate, and your and here's a warrant for your death. Congratulations, and enjoy your time here.
But yes, the Tower of Ivory is hidden in the Blast Peak Mountains. And he moved out there on his own to get away from adventurers trying to stop the Lich's evil plans, because he doesn't have evil plans. He wants to get his research done in quiet. God damn it!
It's like, stop making those evil muffins. They're not evil, and they're not muffins.
They're cupcakes.
So he moved out there, and adventurers kept showing up. He's like, fine, I need some people to actually defend me while I'm doing my research. So he recruited some minions, you know, and he's managed to. Well, he has an eclectic group of minions, shall we say.
Oh, that's a generous statement there.
Many of whom are quite loyal to him, because he's honestly probably the best boss any of you have had. So why don't we start describing yourself? If you got an idea for what position you fill within the Tower of Ivory's hierarchy, as it were, most of you probably have some semblance of importance because you are player characters.
Mm-hmm.
I know Eric had a plan for his, if I remember correctly.
So, yeah, I can. Go ahead.
Take some time to think about it, and we'll start off with Eric, since I know Eric's got a fairly good grasp on that, if I remember correctly.
Yes. So I'm playing Mage the Ripper, Slayer of Masters, Killer in Chains, etc., etc. He's got a lot. He is a Gnoll and a former gladiator, and he's sort of stumbled into being captain of the guard because, well, kind of hard for people not to follow you when you're relatively charismatic, because you have to be if you're going to survive in the pits.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess I should describe him now. Yeah, he's probably about a little over 7 feet tall. He's a Gnoll, they're big, but thin with like whipcord muscles, and dresses much the way he did back in the pits with like a big spiked pauldron and armor going down his right arm, a loincloth with those like Roman leather straps at the studs hanging down, and he just covered with scars, the big red mohawk running down his from his head down to his back, and fights with a big long chain with a bladed hook on one end and a diamond-shaped weight on the other. He's using the Swordmaster archetype.
I think he also picked up a special trait from a different archetype too.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Next up, why don't we go with Wind? Why don't you?
I was going to go next, in fact.
Excellent.
So, I am playing Stheno, the Gorgon, and she's looking for love, but can't find it because it always turns to stone when looked in the eyes. She is a priestess, the high priestess of her particular order, which doesn't amount to much these days because her goddess is dead. Her goddess represented love and the sea. She is an aquatic Lamia-type Gorgon in this fiction. And, well, one of the other evil lords is responsible. She doesn't know which one. She's not happy about this. And until then, she is both, the local religious council as well as matchmaker.
I guess I can follow up with that one there. Yeah. So I will be very blunt. My character concept was inspired directly by Wind, because I had the idea of like, okay, I want to make a character that is a Gorgon's best friend. So my character is a golem. I don't have a name for them because they have many names, because nobody knows what to call them, because unlike the other minions, he wasn't hired by the Caedrix, right? Or Caedrix. He wasn't hired by Caedrix. He was the result of just one of Caedrix's many studies and otherwise, and such. Basically, he was a golem grown from crystals that were meant to be magical reagents and then forgotten. It's like having an herb garden you leave alone for too long and it just kind of overgrows. It overgrew into a sentient golem that's infused with various magical crystals and the like. I got a picture that's going into the Twitch chat. It shows off what they look like. The problem with my character is that because they just kind of showed up and just started being deployed to work in the alchemy bar, as basically, since that's kind of where they grew up literally, they help with making potions and other reagents and otherwise using their resources. They can do all that work, but they have their character name field in the character sheet is a list, and every time someone calls them a different stone or crystal related pun, that name goes on the list. I currently have 13 names so far, including Chip, Flint, Crag, Rocky, Dwayne, Boulder, Chris, Sandy, Geo, Sparkles, Load, B52, Gem, and Micah, to name the ones so far.
B52?
He's Rock Lobster.
Rock Lobster.
I'll take your word for it.
It's a song by the band the B52s. That's.
I see.
Yeah. So like,
and
just.
And you were trying to defend yourself when Eric and Peter claimed ownership of being old.
I just don't listen to label music, is all.
Fair enough, but the point is, so because they're infused with crystals, they are a sorcerer, so they can do magic bits, and because I'm me, I have a voice for them. So whenever I'm speaking as the golem, I'm going to sound like this.
All right.
Whenever I'm talking as them, and that will make it more distinct there.
Light, our darkest hour.
I mean, I'll give it. Light, our darkest hour.
Yeah.
Just- So yes, this is my third character in a row that I've played that uses a voice effect to make them work.
Excellent. All right, Gav.
My life for hire.
Let me sheet up. So the character I'm going to be playing is the archetype I'm using is Cyborg, which you may think big hulking robot dude. No, I'm a goblin, tiny little goblin, with cybernetics called Zoggy. As you might expect, the usual sort of nonsense. Mechanical arms, flamethrowers. Well, he doesn't have a flamethrower. Actually, we changed that, didn't we? Buzzsaws for hands. All sorts of nonsense going on. It's not always the most reliable technology, but it's what he's got. His personal goal, as such, is it's basically self-improvement. He likes the shiny gubbins, and he likes incorporating the shiny gubbins into himself. Now, in the tower, he calls himself the Master of Machines, except the wizard doesn't use machines, so no one's quite sure what he does. They only know that when anything mechanical does end up in the tower, it suddenly goes missing. And yeah, so that's as much as I've got on him for now. I tend to develop my characters through the game as we go on, with just like a starting point. And as along with Skitch, silly voices abound. I'm gonna be doing Zoggy like this. So whenever I'm talking in character, I'm gonna get a really shit Gollum impression.
Fair enough.
I did neglect to mention earlier. Steno is using the supernatural creature archetype.
Yes. And Nick.
All right. So, just so I can get parts of this straight, Peter, can you remind me how do you pronounce
Jekjial.
Jekjial? Okay. And our overlord's name is what again? Sorry.
Caedrix.
Caedrix.
Okay, so my character is named Diesel O'Fortin. That is not his real name, I'll go ahead and say now. In fact, it might be that Caedrix actually gave him that name for reasons that I'll eventually explain, but probably not soon. So Diesel is what is known as a Doomborn, which is a manufactured race created by Jekjial to the crafter of flesh as basically a form of shock troops, genetically altered and manipulated beings that are born to but die on the battlefield after causing tremendous chaos. He's part of the Gene Freak archetype, which means that he can make himself bigger and stronger and faster and tougher and can eventually do all sorts of crazy things by manipulating his genetic makeup, which is what the Doomborn were created to do. The problem is that as part of the Gene Freak archetype and as part of his species, bad stuff eventually happens the more that he uses his powers in any given session. And in fact, the Doomborn, yeah, it's a cool name and it's an intimidating name and stuff like that, but it's not a matter of like, oh, we are the Doomborn when we kill you. It's we are the Doomborn and we are born to die. So Diesel essentially just kind of survived more battles than he was expected to. And now he's at a point where he's kind of past his recommended retirement date.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jekjial decided to stop employing him because basically he may literally explode at any moment. And that is why he ended up coming to work here instead, is because no one else would take him because they expect that he is more risk than he is worth.
He's past his expiration date.
Yeah, so Diesel is he's kind of this almost kind of orcish, kind of humanoid, like grayish, brownish skin, kind of big and hulky. I'm currently using as his kind of standby Zod from Berserk. So, this kind of bulky, flat-nosed, ugly guy. So
I realize we got if outside of you, all the other characters so far have like G as the first letter of their races. We got Gorgon, Gnoll, Golem, and Gremlin.
Goblin, thank you very much.
Gremlin,
Gav,
Goblin. That you're
You're a goblin with a case of the gremlins. Pipe down.
I don't know what you're doing, but okay.
All right. So.
Whoa! It's your theme song, right? Got it. Okay.
So Ashburner will be joining us at some point. Ash is playing. I forget the character's name right now, but he is a skeleton.
Ignatius.
Ignatius, yes.
Ignatius,
the skeletal bartender, everyman, everyday hero, and leader of the local undead union.
Apparently.
Fucking unions.
I listen. Okay, I'm a proud scab. Okay,
Yeah, he's using the everyday hero archetype. But Ash will show up later.
Hopefully.
So we begin with Diesel. You have recently Ash's internet died. Okay. So at any rate, you have recently arrived at the Tower of Ivory. And you are being given sort of a tour of the place by the major domo of the tower, of Caedrix's major domo, Rokesh, who is basically a humanoid dragon. He's draconian, sort of tall, basically humanoid dragon, as I said. He's not less dragonborn, because he has wings. He's more sort of like a small dragon, basically, that walks bipedally.
Gotcha.
He is wearing long, flowing sort of black robes with gold trim, and somehow he's got a pince nez sort of balanced on his snout as he walks around, and he has a long, sort of large sort of staff of office that he has with him. And he's been showing you around the tower. So of important note, and he's basically, your tour is finishing in the mess hall.
Okay, well, I will go ahead and say that Diesel has kind of probably been looking at Rakesh kind of sidelong this whole time, because a lot of this stuff is outside of his original job description, so he keeps on thinking he's going to be lured into some sort of combat test. And it just keeps on not coming. So he's weirded out by this officially. So,
and here we finally arrive in the mess hall. If you have any diet, so meal times will be there'll be meal times 3 times a day. Feel free to show up at any of them that you feel like eating. He'll give you the schedule when they happen. If you have any particular dietary requirements, please let Greta, points over to a large hobgoblin female behind one of the counters, who waves cheerfully back. She's in charge of the kitchens. Let her know if you've got any specific dietary requirements. Several people at the tower do. What do you mean?
What are you saying? What dietary?
Well, if there's anything you particularly have to eat in order to keep yourself alive, let her know.
Food.
Yes.
So I should tell her I need to eat food to survive.
If there's any particular types of food you need to survive.
Particular.
Yes. Atypical. That if there's
atypical.
He pauses, looks at you. I don't think this is going to be is there anything...
Do I kill you now, or...
No? Why would you... There is... No, you don't have to kill anyone right now.
Who do I kill?
No one right now. I assume you're going to be... From what Master Caedrix mentioned, you will be joining the guards of the tower. When we are
guarding.
yes, when the tower is
Guarding.
assaulted or attacked, you will be expected to help defend the tower.
Diesel seems much more content and understanding of this than probably anything else that he's been telling him.
Let me introduce you to the chief of the guards, who is over there eating. He points over at Mange, who is sitting at I'm assuming has a very large stack of food in front of him.
Oh yeah, there's also just bones scattered around because he is a messy eater, and he's probably holding court with about like 10 other like guards of various monstrous nature.
Yes.
I'll add that there's bones everywhere, despite the fact none of the food in front of it would reasonably have bones in it. It's like burger, like there's burgers, but somehow there's a bunch of bones around anyway.
He's just pulling bones out of pancakes.
That's great. Pulling bones out of the salad.
If he wants bones, Greta will definitely add it to
Oh, he definitely likes bones. He likes some marrow.
Yep.
And he likes crunching things. So
I more like to entertain the notion that you're just hitting the pancakes so hard they explode like in Mortal Kombat.
yes.
But yes, and this is Nick, where you get to meet the rest of the players, because you all happen to be in the mess hall right now, in the James sort of general area. Although I'm not entirely certain why Rocky's there, but yeah.
They're still given a meal quota, so they basically just find out whoever needs an extra meal and issues their quota over to them.
What a nice guy.
Everyone's given a meal quota, even those who don't have to eat. It's the rules, okay?
It's part of what
has
Ash's
communism
character
done to this
argued
kingdom?
for everyone.
Listen, okay, I don't have a heart of gold. I have gold trimming around me, so I'm gilded already.
Wow. You are new. Come sit. Come eat. Hang. Meet everyone. Yes, it's good.
Diesel's going to draw his sword.
Oh, you're wanting fight first. Pits are this way. I finish eating first.
Who I kill first?
Oh, killing comes late. Killing will come. Killing is fun and comes later. Now is time for food. You will eat. Come join us.
Diesel does need eat.
What is Diesel eating then?
Food. Obviously, food.
Greta, you are bringing food of what Diesel is eating here.
Kratos looks up. Kratos looks up and goes, She shrugs, assembles a large tray of stuff, and sort of carries it over and sits down the table in front of Diesel. Enjoy.
Good. Eat with gusto. I am seeing we are getting along. Good.
Rokesh says, Mange,
Diesel kind of keeps on looking. Diesel kind of keeps on looking around at everyone, expecting someone to try and take his food. So,
Mange, this is Diesel. He is a new member of the guard.
Yes, I am seeing that he is having sword, and he is big and strong. Is good.
fucking love Mange.
The application process for Mange is very simple.
Do you fight? Do you eat? You with Mange.
I imagine that Mange, despite being a gnoll, somehow has a big bushy mustache.
He doesn't have a mustache. He does have a goatee.
That's as appropriate as well. At this point, I will say that Diesel will hear a voice from behind them, basically just announcing, "So this is a new member of our organization."
Yes, he is joining guard. Is good. Dwayne, this is Diesel. Diesel is. I am not knowing what Diesel is, but Diesel is good.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Diesel. And if Diesel looks at the direction of whoever's talking to them, they'll see just the tall, intricately but somehow slapdashly designed golem with gems of various colors, crystals of various colors, metal, fine working otherwise, and just sort of like glowing in various ways when Diesel looks that way.
Construct. No meat.
Is true. He is not eating meat either, or you are not eating meat. You should eat meat. Here, you will eat this meat. And he just plops a random goblet of mostly raw meat in front of you.
I've already allocated my rations for this meal block to someone who is more demanding of it.
Yes, is good. Dwayne, very generous. He's a good friend to have, and he slaps you on the back.
Like, he wobbles a bit and then just moves to wobble a bit and then move to sit down nearby.
At around this point, multiple varieties of slithering noises will kind of come into earshot from behind everyone else as a large lamia-looking creature with a very long tail, and, well, thick is an appropriate word in pretty much any respect. I like how I could just say that and you all know how to translate it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how she has hips, but she does. Like,
and does she ever?
But as she approaches, any who would look upon her would note that she has various religious vestments. She has, a habit and a veil. Her face is entirely obscured. One cannot see it. It is a hard veil. How she can see out of it is actually a bit of a mystery. It is not even transparent. The rest of her attire is mostly a shawl and what would be similar to like a nun's attire in the more humanoid territories, but that kind of thing, those kind of colors. Just think mommy a nun visually. And she is burning some incense that gives off the scent of the sea. It basically gives a salty quality to the air.
It's a sea salt ice cream scent,
Sure. And she will approach the entire group. I see Mange is making friends already, as usual.
Yes, you are coming. You are eating with us.
I do thank you for your kind generosity of company. I will accept. And
I have no idea how to pronounce her name. Word.
Steno.
Steno, yeah.
Steno, she is very beautiful. Never look her in face. Turn you to a rock is terrible, but is beautiful.
It is most sad, but true.
Gorgon, yes. Eyes turn stone.
Yes, you are knowing. Good.
She seems a little uncomfortable at these at these declarations, accurate though they are, and opts to not particularly respond to them. She doesn't take a seat for obvious reasons, but she does coil herself nearby.
Mane sort of leans back and like pats his belly and starts picking his teeth with a splintered bit of thigh bone. So, is all here? Where's Zogget? Zogget must be here with us. We cannot drink proper without Zogget.
I'm fairly certain if Zogget isn't here, we will hear them before we see them.
Most certainly, she says as she will order seafood.
Greta nods and heads back into the kitchen.
Fish and chips.
Mostly just the fish, really.
Fish and chips, hold the chips, extra fish.
Better not be tilapia.
Oh.
Tilapia is a little tricky to get around here. Hell,
Better not be
fish is
tilapia.
That's her only.
It is very likely some sort of underground, one of those sort of underground fish types that live in the caves and such. Because
Oh, certainly. And
given
that's fine.
given the environment you're in,
Oh, certainly. That's absolutely fine.
so it's
as
not,
long as it's
seafood is not
tilapia.
exactly accurate, but close enough.
Oh, it's close enough.
Unless there's an underground ocean.
I like this idea. There's
I
an underground
actually kind of like this idea too.
Yeah, I like this. This is a good idea.
Yes.
We'll revisit it later.
Yes. I will add this to my notes. Underground ocean.
It appears that Zoggett is having some hardware issues right now, so
okay.
He'll be along once he manages to get the oil in his leg. So.
Today's just a cursed day for technology.
I'm back,
Oh
I'm back.
gosh, and now it's
No,
thundering outside.
I'm having system issues where every hour around about 1:30 my system basically locks up. It's
Oh, that's right. You were
this-
telling us about that the other day.
This is why I'm waiting for the new machine. But yes. Okay. Diesel? It doesn't look like a diesel. I don't even know where you'd fuel him up.
I'm not knowing what you are saying, but you are here, so now we are drinking. Greta, bring drinks for all.
Small flying creature nearby, and Diesel's like looking around the sky for whatever's squealing at him.
Down here, numbnuts. Just walks up at the side of him.
Goblin, metal goblin.
Okay.
He is
So it looks like you've got a bit of a pea brain going on. So I'll do it as explained. I'm a cyborg,
brain, not
right?
pee. Brain. Pee, not brain.
P. Okay. So I guess she's gonna walk over and like just hop up onto the table and just reach over and grab something to eat from the pile.
I'm gonna say when drinks.
Which pile it is. He's just gonna grab something.
I'm gonna say when drinks are brought up.
Yes, a couple of skeletons come shambling over with mugs.
No. Like, the golem gets like a glass of like mineral oil just set in front of them.
Yes, sure.
Just like.
But yes, various mugs are set down on the table.
he's
At
good.
one point,
The skeletons go shambling off.
At one point, while the skeleton waiters are doing their thing and stuff and kind of distracting people, Diesel is going to take a knife from the table and pocket it.
Okay.
Mm.
You are liking that knife is good. You like knives? We bring you many knives.
Greta, bring more knives. Clean of knives for the table. Round of knives for the table, Greta.
It should be noted that while eating her food, Stheno abstains from making use of the utensils and simply carves the fish with her claws instead.
Fair.
This is for those who are not knowing, this is Diesel. He is new. He is something. He is joining guards.
Diesel. Diesel kind of like lowers his head a little bit. Diesel soldier.
Yes, which is why you are joining guards.
He's not
Yes.
exactly a conversationalist, is he?
Oh, that he is shy. He is changing soon.
Oh, mange.
Yo.
If it wasn't for your sword, I'd say your breath's the most lethal thing about you. God, Christ.
It's good to have breath like this. Let's everyone know that you are eating meat and that you are happy.
It is times like this that I'm pleased that my sense of smell is optional.
All right.
Most scents that are not related to blood are outside of my spectrum, I confess.
Blood is good too. Fermented blood best.
And that explains the breath.
All right. At about this time, an alarm goes off. Those of you who are not near the tower recognize it as it's not a particularly loud or, sort of. It's not like one of those big sort of warning klaxons. It's more of a sort of almost like a school bell, really. It's the adventurers have shown up bell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good time now. We go to a viewing pool and see how they make fools of themselves. If they get through, Diesel, you are getting to do some killing.
Killing?
Yes, but first we watch them make fools of themselves.
Diesel already has he just reaches into his pockets and pulls out various objects that look sharp or pound you in the facey. So
just getting this impression of him charging off with a handful of dinner knives.
the dinner knife is there, yes. But there's also a hammer. There's a broken sword. Just various objects that look like they could hurt you. So
we are getting you better equipment soon. But first we watch show.
There is also a sword strapped to his waist that he hasn't pulled out. So
all right, so if you guys want to head to, there is in fact a viewing room. Yes, Eric is quite correct. Well, it's a big sort of scrying mirror.
It's like a big screen TV, just in a
Kinda.
room with some chairs. It's like the.
It's technically set up as a remote viewing system to assess the state of the tower's defenses. However, Mage is entirely correct. It's sort of become sort of a let's watch what these adventurer fools do as they approach the various traps that surround the tower thing.
They're so fucking dead.
Kinda.
More or less.
That's not what it was intended for, but
Mm-hmm.
Caedrix had.
Oh, that's what it's become.
But yes, so as you walk in, you can sort of see the outside the sort of. Basically, outside the tower, there's the image I've got up there is not entirely accurate, but it's close. There's a big sort of open space around the tower. Further out from that, there is a large sort of. It's effectively sort of a fortress that's been built around the wall. It's sort of it's built around the tower, I should say, not a wall. It's a wall. It's a extra thick wall, basically. You all, those of you, all of you are aware that it's sort of a mini fortress built around the tower, and all of you are aware that there are traps in there.
cool.
And there are traps further inside the outer ring as well. The alarm doesn't go off except when people make it out of the fortress.
Oh.
The fortress is the outer defense. Yes, there are alarms in there for the people who are actually staffing the ring, and then if anyone who makes it through will probably set off the magical alarms that are past that. And there are sort of layers of increasing levels of alarms. Someone has made it past the fortress alarm. And what you see as you enter in is a fairly sizable group of. It looks like almost like a small army. You get the impression that there were probably more of them there before they went into the fortress.
Okay then.
There is leading them out is a tall human wearing what was once probably very shiny armor, plate armor, but is now somewhat scorched and dented.
Came by and just smeared dirt all over it, and it was so bad.
Had beautiful plumes on it that are a bit scorched at the moment. But he has a very shiny. His sword is still very shiny. The armor less so. He's got a big shield with a impressive bit of heraldic, bit of heraldry on it. The heraldry really doesn't matter. There are a good number of sort of foot troops that are with him. Say roughly, there are a couple. It looks like there are currently a couple hundred foot troops with him. Also, there is someone in robes with a staff that you are almost certain is a wizard. Let's just say he's a wizard. And yeah, and a someone wearing sort of leather armor with a hooded cloak over and carrying a crossbow of some sort. those are the three who stand out, and then the rest of them are, your archetypical sort of, general sort of soldiery. And you can see the guy in armor sort of gesturing forward. He's got that air of, ha-ha, we have made it through the outer traps. We will assault the tower and take down the evil beings that live within. As they advance forward into the minefield.
Oh, put that there then.
As you see, magical explosions are going off here and there, and you see little clouds of, footmen go flying off in the air with little screeches of, ah!
Look at that! Need to do cartwheel.
Boom, boom.
But they make it actually. They make it to the next through. They make it through a good chunk of them make it to the minefield. A good.
And the rest of them are good chunks.
Surprisingly, a lot of the explosions don't seem to have actually killed anyone. Rather, sort of blown them back out of the ring and left them sort of lying down the ground going, ah.
Go home, please. You're not welcome here.
Yeah, kind of actually. Diesel, you are actually a little surprised by this. Like
Explosion.
everyone else, it's like this is entirely, you're used to this sort of thing. The boss is odd about this sort of thing. I mean, some of them did die. I mean, like, there's only so much survivability you can work into an explosion.
Diesel's going to point at the screen and so, explode. Why some in one piece?
Boss is thinking, maybe if not killing, not so much vengeance. It's boring, but makes good show.
It's meant to
kill?
It's meant to be more a deterrent than a destruction methodology.
What?
You scare them away, and then they don't come back, is the idea.
But if kill, also not come back.
But if you kill, they may send more in, as mentioned, for revenge.
Also, is little way of saying, haha, we not take you real. Because, not worth killing is what it is saying. It's funny.
Diesel kind of stares at everyone and it just kind of like has a blank look on his face, like of not complete non-comprehension. Like you're talking about concepts that have literally never occurred to him before. So
People go to a fight and don't die?
He's not looking at you guys like that's stupid. He's looking at you like what? So
how does this work? At any rate, they make it through the mine. It's down to about, the three people who clearly are who are not the, faceless masses, as it were. The knight, the sorcerer, and the rogue. I mean, let's be real here.
The bard.
And
The thief acrobat.
Yeah, what? No. And about 20 of the footmen make it through. They get through, and they pass through another magical barrier, and another alarm goes off. This one a little bit more insistent. And you can see, like, as the knight starts to advance, the thief the rogue sort of puts a hand on the knight's shoulder, and sort of looks at him like he has a look on her face, like, "Are you insane?"
Oh, this one is smart.
She reaches into the satchel at her side, pulls out a 10-foot pole, and starts tapping it in front of her. And starts advancing slowly. The knight looks very offended at first, but then he sort of has that look of, oh.
fine.
You get the impression. You also get the impression, thinking back, that she had this look of, "Are you fucking kidding me?" as he's striding forward through the minefield. Before, it's like I do. Yes.
The one with the hood is the one with the mind. I wonder how they compared to the one with the more arcane nature.
Rokesh you see Rokesh sort of chuckling slightly under his breath. He does a couple of gestures, and you actually start hearing things now, because they're now close enough that actually the audio scrying actually works.
Yeah, there was interference before, but now it's coming through just fine.
Well, the audio scrying spell doesn't have as much range as the visual one.
Listen, okay, that's just how it works. All right. You can telegraph a visual scry way farther than an audio scry.
Well,
just
pure
it's
audio. If
physics.
you're doing just audio, you can go very far. But
yeah, I know.
The real challenge is getting the audio and the visual to sync up properly, because you might have latency on one or the other.
Yeah, you gotta check your scrying codecs to make sure that they're all properly installed. And...
scry code is terrible. I know. And then you have latency. You have scrypression, which is just the worst.
And then you've got all these different casters who have their own forms of scrying, and it's just not compatible. So you have to.
Yeah,
you know, in the old days where you just had this bizarre like flash scrying method.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here, no one's going to be able to cast that soon. So.
At any rate, so the rogue is sort of tapping along with her 10-foot pole, and the sorcerer is actually like. You actually can hear the sorcerer chuckling and sort of shaking his head as the knight is making sort of sputtering. Well, of course I was going to suggest we do that. I'm not that stupid. Why aren't you saying anything? Hey! And about halfway along the thing, they've not run into any mines so far. As you guys are aware, they actually managed to find one of the few paths through that ring that is not actually particularly trapped. And the foot troops are doing a very good job at following behind the path that the rogue has, tested with her stick.
Oh, they are missing pit trap. His long slide dumps them into underwater sea. It's very funny.
As you say that, the sorcerer sort of shaking his head, wanders slightly off the path that's been cleared, and steps into the pit trap.
Yes!
Aha! So the arcane one is lacking.
There's like people in the audience are like holding up signs or stuff like, I came to see someone fall down the pit trap.
they have their bingo. They have their bingo cards out.
And when that happens, the knight sort of shuffles slightly more directly behind the rogue. It's like, right.
There's like a pool set up so that people can place bets on what traps they.
Yes, actually.
Yes.
There's
if there wasn't before, Mange is definitely setting one up now.
There's three behind a desk, and one of them they just raise signs that read like 7.8, 8.5, 9.1.
Oh, there are people definitely grading the various flips and cartwheels the footmen were doing when they were exploded. At any rate, they get to a certain point, and they're now within sort of charging range of the tower, as it were, and they're in the ring where there actually aren't traps, because this is the bit where they've done much better than most do. They've actually done surprisingly well. Maybe a tenth of their force made it through. The knight strides forward and bellows out. Hang on, I got his name here. Okay. I am Sir Avalonius, of the Knight of the Order of the Diamond Star. I have come to vanquish the evil lich, Caedrix the Unliving. You will stand forth and meet your fate, evildoer.
Sounds like a bit of a tryhard, to be fully honest.
Was he naming himself after shellfish?
Soggit's going to walk up to a switch on the wall. It's basically an intercom. You
I'm here to defeat the evil Lich. He should come forth and meet his fate in battle.
Tell him we are not meeting any witches.
There ain't no one by that name here, love.
This is the Tower of Ivory, yes?
It's a Tower of Ivory.
The knight sort of pauses, looks back at the rogue. He sort of looks back at the rogue. He has his look up. He actually has that look up. Did we come to the wrong place? The rogue looks at him with an exasperated look and goes, slaps her forehead, sort of gestures, like, "Are you a more?" Yes, this is the.
You might want the Tower of Ivory that's 3 towers over. You go past the jade one. Then there's another white one, but it's not ivory.
It's more of a cream.
It's a pearl tower.
Then there's the black one, the Ebon Tower. And then there's another ivory tower. That's the one you want.
It's by the shell tower and the pearl tower and the cream tower.
Diesel, meanwhile, is standing up and is like, "Where I go to kill."
Roguefish is currently pitching the bridge of his snout,
like dropping coins into the hands of one of the other guards because he has clearly lost the bet about whether or not they would fall for it.
Roguefish, you see, is currently pinching the bridge of his snout. Mange, pick a few people, go out there and deal with them, please.
It's fun time! Come, it's time for killing.
I might as well.
I would like
the alchemy bar has been slow today.
I would like to exchange words with this hooded woman of mental capability.
We are saving her for you. Diesel, you are coming. You are showing what are made of, yes?
Diesel is made of genetically enhanced flesh. Diesel does not know what this means, except for flesh.
It's all very impressive sounding, to say the least.
Not knowing what you are saying either.
Go on then.
So the 5 of you, I take it, head out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of disappointed looking henchmen, but they understand that it is Mange's job to pick the people who go out to fight in this sort of situation. So, so the 5 of you head outside.
As we head outside, I want to ask to do something real quick here.
Absolutely.
So I have an ability as a sorcerer type. It's we've flavored it as observe ley lines. As there's a concept in this world of ley lines as sort of things that connect magical nexuses together.
Yep.
I'm just gonna take a look at these, these adventurers, so-called adventurers. Do any of them appear to be attuned to a nexus?
Nope.
I figured. I just wanted to make sure.
Not even a little bit.
Like there's an audible sigh from the golem as they just sort of seem disappointed by the people in front of them.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
So, alrighty. So you head outside. The 5 of you sort of advance out of the tower. And the knight turns and says, "Aha! Defenders of the tower!"
It's good you are making it through traps. Now we are having fun.
Diesel throws the kitchen knife at the knight.
Nice.
It sort of give me a martial arts roll.
Okay.
Or whatever your main combat
I use my hand to hand. I use my mutant attack value. So I guess I do have to use my martial arts then. That's fine.
Okay. Do you have martial arts as a skill?
No. I have 1 skill. So
fair enough.
Well, no. What is the top thing?
Do you have a secondary attack? Do you have a secondary attack?
What's your primary attack as your character? For
I would have to look at the player's handbook, and I don't actually.
It's mutant. The primary one is mutant. So
Yeah, but I think that
but-
I only use that for hand to hand.
right. So I
And
would
for
say
your mutant powers.
just use your mutant power in this case here because that's equivalent
enough.
because you don't have
You don't
backup
have a
attack as
backup
the
attack.
Gene
Just use mutant for this. It's fine.
Okay, so it's an open attack roll with
Yep.
a plus of 13. Okay.
Correct.
So that is R 1d6 exclamation point plus 1
Minus-
minus 1d6 exclamation point plus 13.
Yep.
Yeah.
15.
What? Oh, I didn't. That's why, because I hadn't scrolled further down. There we go. It's like it was scrolled down. Oh, 15. Yep, you will hit very nicely. All right, you are throwing a knife. That is
A kitchen knife, yes.
That is damage. That is damage 5. So
Okay.
you hit by. He's got his defense is a whopping 12. So you hit by 3. So that is your swerve is a 3, and your damage is 5. So your smackdown is 8. Unfortunately, fortunately, you do a point of damage because he does have toughness 7.
So I managed to stick it in him, basically.
Basically, yeah. The knife finds sticks into one of the gaps in his armor at his shoulder. He's ow! Hey, there's formalities to this.
Diesel's running at him and going.
I guess everybody rolls initiative.
This is what happens when we throw them
Diesel
into
does
combat
not
before
know that
orientation.
Diesel does not understand the weight of dramatic effect.
No, this is actually entirely appropriate. This is what would have happened to him at virtually any of the other Dreadlord towers or fortresses. He'd have just been attacked.
I mean, the main difference here is that there's only one monster who's doing this currently.
Yeah.
Well, the drawback is he's been trained to fight dragons who do have a thing about formality.
Yeah.
He's not
true.
He's not used to fighting other monsters.
So, as a reminder, Peter, what is an initiative roll in this case here?
It is 1d6 plus your speed stat.
All right. What is my speed stat?
My
Mine
speed
is
stat
6.
is not great.
Mine is good.
Ooh.
It's just D6.
11.
It's just D6.
Straight D6,
Yeah.
yep.
I apparently didn't do that right.
Slash R,
R.
D6 plus 6.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, that is
No, that didn't work.
Yep. Yeah. So we got Wind at 12. We got Nick and Gav at 11. Eric.
Schiciano on 10.
Yeah. Eric, what is your roll?
I'm trying to figure out how to roll in this.
Slash
Uh,
R space D6 plus 6.
Well, my speed is 9, but
Plus 9, yeah.
there we go.
10. Okay.
This is going to be one of the few times I think in this campaign where Eric goes last. So
Yes. Eric's character is meant to go first usually.
All right. So, yes, everyone sort of goes charging ahead. Eric, as mages are going, wait.
he's like,
I am
"But I am
taking
Captain of Guard.
enthusiasm.
I have speech prepared."
He's praising the new guy. He's doing a HR.
All right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
none of you beat the rogues 14. Oh, I forgot to roll for the mooks. Hang on.
Roll for mooks. Roll for 4 for them. That's what I'm saying, basically.
There are 4 groups of 5 mooks. All right, and they are going on. Come back here, die 6. I'm rolling dice. Actually, I should just. There's a roll of the game actually, but I'm just going to use the die 6 that I've got right here.
Even his dice are trying to escape. We don't need to change them anymore.
Ooh, one group's going reasonably quickly.
Mm.
And all right. So nobody beats the rogue on 14.
No.
Unsurprising.
Yeah, not a huge shock there. She pulls out her heavy crossbow, and levels it at Diesel because Diesel is the one charging.
Fair enough.
Actually, hang on. I think I've got this macro. Yep, I do. Haha! I'm smart. I macroed this. Open, and her gun skill is a whopping 13. A 13! Does that hit your defense, Nick?
It hits it exactly.
All right, then she does 11 damage, minus your toughness.
So 5 damage. Ow.
So you take 5 wound points. Ka-chunk! She will go again on 11.
Ooh, wow. Yeah.
I'll become a better initiative tracker for next session, but I'm working under... All right. All right, so that is it for 14, 13, 12.
That is I.
Yes. Steno, what are you doing?
Steno will.
Oh, by the way, the rogue basically started sprinting off to the side as she was leveling the crossbow. She did not want to stand directly in front of Diesel.
Oh, you don't say. Steno is going to quickly slither off in that direction. This individual has her attention. That being said, she's not going to make aggressive action towards this one quite yet.
Fair enough.
She's more concerned about that wizard over there. So while chasing after
the wizard that fell down the pit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Fair enough. Yep. He might be flying back into the battle at some point. Yes.
So while she's chasing after the after the rogue, that's where her mind is. So she's keeping an eye on the pit and waiting for the wizard to do wizardly things. In the meantime, however, she will throw a condescending look at the army that is no doubt encroaching upon her location.
They are the army is the footmen are advancing slowly, but they do look a little bit nervous. Although they are, well, we outnumber the bad guys 4-1. We can totally take them.
She will pull her veil back and have a good look at the encroaching soldiers.
Okay.
She does not particularly care for interruptions.
They slow down a little bit, but they're sort of advancing in general. They're not like advancing on anyone in particular yet.
Oh, certainly. I'm just making certain they stop advancing in this direction very quickly by making a point of giving them a petrifying gaze.
Okay. Are you how many mooks are you attacking?
Oh. Right, I forgot you have to declare that. I haven't actually scrolled down that, so I don't see what the result is. I'm going to say 3 for the time being.
Going to target 3. All right. Their defense is not super amazing. It is a whopping 11, so your 14 succeeds. You actually drop 3 mooks.
Hooray! All right, yeah. So there's now there's now 3 statues forming a line between
Yep. Mook
their
group
numbers
4.
and
I
myself.
declare that it was Mook Group 4.
Mm-hmm.
All right then.
So yes, you've petrified 3 of them. They're sort of they're the ones that were close to you. They're advancing, and now 3 of them have been turned to stone.
Mm-hmm.
That was exactly enough. Well done. All right,
Nice.
So that is it for 12. You go again on 9. Word, you'll have to keep track of that yourself.
Certainly.
All right, that is it for 12. We're on to 11. Player characters first. So that is Nick and Gav. You guys have to decide between the two of you who you want to
I'll
go.
let Nick go first. I'm still trying to find my shticks. I realised I hadn't loaded up the actual character page.
Fair enough.
Okay. So, to be clear on how some of this stuff works, so some stuff obviously costs shots. If I have something that doesn't cost a shot but costs something else, can I do that? And something that costs a shot in the same shot?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. All right, so I am going to use 2 of my mutant shticks.
Okay.
I am going to first use very fast.
All right, so you're spending 2 genome.
And that allows me to, for the rest of this sequence, all of my actions cost 1 less shot.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use very strong. So this costs me 1 shot in order to increase my damage. So I'm going to basically have to delay until shot 10, but after this, anything that costs 3 shots takes 2. Anything costs 2 shots takes 1 for the rest
And
of
it goes down to a minimum of 1. Yep. Okay. Sweet.
Yes. So basically what happens is that as Diesel is rushing forward, suddenly his arms and legs just start bulking up, and as he runs, the ground starts to kind of break under his feet as his feet move heavier and also faster as he starts charging faster and faster towards this night dude.
All right.
That's good.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next up would be Gav.
Yep. Okay.
What does Zoggett do?
Well, I think I'm going to return the favour at the rogue. Actually, I'm going to flip out the light auto crossbow in my arm
Okay.
and take a shot. I believe right with auto crossbows. It's still you just roll one shot, right?
You're one shot. If you want to fire extra shot. If you want to do, you can do basically go into auto fire mode and do bonus damage. But if you go beyond +2 damage, you start taking penalties to hit.
Right. In that case, yes, I'll do +2.
And then if you
So
do auto fire, you have to make you will have to make a reload check afterwards.
That's fine. So I'll do. So basically, what does that add 2 to my attack roll then?
To the damage after you hit.
Right. Okay. Hang on a second. I haven't got macros yet, but I've got the keys recorded. Oh, don't include the open roll bit.
We're learning d20, so roll 20.
Yeah.
So there we go. A 10. You're shooting at the rogue. Yeah, that won't hit.
No, I didn't think so.
She sort of effortlessly bobs and weaves between your shots.
Oh wait, hang on. Have I rolled the right thing here?
You're supposed to add your gun skill to that.
Gun skill, right? No, and my gun skill is 13.
So it's a 13. That still misses, but not by as much. Her defense is 14.
You said your gun skill was what? 13?
Gun skill is 13. Yeah, so I've rolled 5
so that's
less.
A 15.
Oh, 15. Then you hit by 1.
Yay!
All right. So you fired off 2 bursts effectively.
Yes.
All right. So 2 bursts brings the damage on your auto crossbow up from. It's a light auto crossbow.
It is.
Yes, light. That's what I think.
Light auto crossbow, 834, whatever that means.
8 damage, 3 concealability, 4. Your reload check is a 4.
Right. Okay. So 8 damage.
8 damage. You hit by. I said you hit by 1.
Yep.
And 2 bursts, so it's 11 damage.
Yay!
All right. 11 damage minus her toughness of 6 is 5 wound points. Ah! So she dodges and weaves quite well, but you do manage to clip her with at least one of the bolts.
Yeah.
She sort of spins around and then keeps running. But you have wounded her. Dun, dun, dun.
Huzzah.
All right, that is it for 11, I believe. Yes, so we're on to. Oh, sorry, no. Yeah, no.
The rogue has an action. Yeah.
The rogue goes. All right. Well, she is spins around. As she spins around, looks like she loses her footing, but she catches herself, drops to one knee, levels the crossbow at you, Gav, because you just shot her, and she is going to shoot you. A 14.
My defense is 13, so yes.
Hits by 1. Base damage is 11, so that's 12 damage minus your toughness.
This is 9.
So 3 wound points. As the bolt sort of slams into you and sort of mostly clatters off you because you are a cyborg goblin.
Yeah. Moment. I just want to double. Oh, hang on. I need to read through these and learn what I can actually do.
All right. Mm-hmm.
There's something I can do when I get hit. Give me 1 second.
And after she fires, she gets back. She comes back up from her sort of kneeling position and resumes running.
No, it's something that'll happen later. That's fine.
Okay. So that is it for 11. 10, which is
Me again.
Nick.
Me also.
Can I go first
Skitch
at
and
this one?
Eric.
Because I'm doing something very quick.
Okay, that's fine. Nick,
Go ahead.
go ahead, Skitch.
I'm going to spend 2 magic to activate my stones of spells to add disintegration to my kit for the day,
Okay.
and that's a 3-shot action.
Okay.
Done.
All right, Nick and Eric, who'd like to go first?
Go for it, Nick.
All right. In that case, Diesel is going to go after the knight,
Okay.
and he is going to swing his sword at him. And so, yep.
The knight braces himself for your attack. Shield
All right.
up, sword back, all sort of proper knightly positioning.
Okay, it is going to be with my attack, which is 13 then.
Yep.
Okay. That is only an 11, so.
All right, you swing your sword down, and he actually just sort of slams your sword back with his shield, although it is a much heavier blow than he was expecting.
So what I'm going to flavor this as is that Diesel actually will swing his sword, and he swings it from his waist, and in the act of swinging it, he actually, instead of whipping it out of his sheath, his scabbard, it tears the actual belt off, and so he actually slams the scabbarded sword still into the shield.
Fair enough. I like it. All right, Nick, Eric, you're up.
All right. Is the rogue close enough to me to close and hit them?
Everyone's within closing distance for you, Eric. You are.
I am pretty fast.
You have the highest speed. Determines not only your initiative but how quickly you cover ground.
Right.
Also.
I forgot that. You are not getting away from me! Should I charge the rogue?
Okay.
And I'm gonna whip the big hooked end of the chain at her.
Okay.
So let's see if I remember how this works. What?
You
You
type
forgot the-
plus equals
forgot the-
14.
Oh, okay. Well, that works out to 15.
Yeah, so 15. We'll hit by 1.
Excellent. It is a damage 13 signature weapon.
Yep. So 14 damage minus her toughness of 6. Ow.
This is gonna hurt.
Yep. So the hook sort of slams into her and hooks. Most of the damage from this is actually just the impact of the chain slamming into her. The hook sort of more hooks into her armor less than into her proper.
Fair enough. I will then burn a chi to backslash to have the weighted end of the chain sweep through the mooks. Let's see how many I kill. Odd is that I just looked this up. What was it? Drop 1 mook.
So 1 mook goes down. All right, so group 4 is down to 1 mook.
And that adds +1 damage to my weapon because I killed a mook.
Yep.
Yay.
Because you're a spinning terror of spikes and chains and All right, that is it for... Oh, no, I'm wrong. That is not it for 10. Pod 3 of mooks goes. A mook for everybody!
Hooray!
There are 5 of them, and there are 5 of you. Nice and simple. You're all attacked by mooks. Wait, why am I doing that? Why was I doing it the stupid way? I have a macro for this. There we go. And their attack value is an amazing... Yeah, 7. These guys are not that good. So the first one, this is sorry. Eric, Nick, Skitch, Gav, Wind.
I think that those all miss.
They all miss, yes.
They all miss. It is embarrassing how badly it misses against me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That is.
I mean, that was almost
bad.
away awful. Yeah.
Ah, there's
The two
Ash.
ways to get away. The 2 ways to get away awful in this game, for those who are new, are 1, getting a negative result which can only happen on open rolls, generally, or you roll what are called boxcars, which means both the positive and negative dice explode, and then fail to get a winning result. And like I said, both are very rare to happen, and that just creates very big moments when they happen.
It creates fun with a capital F.
It creates fun with a capital F and U. Let's be honest here.
One thing I just
Kind of fun.
I just realised I didn't actually work out my actual wound points. Is it? I mean, I know it's at the bottom of my character sheet, but
No. Everyone has basically the same wound tracker.
right.
Yeah.
You take wound points until you hit 25, then you take a point of impairment. When you hit
Oh,
30,
is
you
that
take a
okay?
second point of impairment.
Right, I just thought 25 was quite high. So I thought, hang on, am I cheating here?
Nope.
Nope.
And 30 is when you take your second point of impairment. 35 is when you are either down or you decide to try to stand up and fight. And depending on whether the enemy are fighting to capture or kill, basically at 35 you can declare yourself out of the fight. If you want to keep fighting, if the enemy are fighting to kill, then you start earning marks of death and shit.
Okay.
All right, this was shot 10. All right, that's it for 10, I believe. We are down to shot 9. Also, hello, Ash. I'm sorry. We're in the middle of a fight. All right. But glad that you were able to make it at least somewhat.
Yeah, no worries.
Yep. Shot 9. Anyone going on 9?
I am.
All right, Word, what are you doing? What is Seno doing?
All right, so the wizard hasn't made a return quite yet.
No, not yet. He'll be a little while. He will be back.
Oh, shit. I forgot about Water Sword. The rogue also loses a shot.
Oh, okay then.
When I hit a named foe, a number of named foes equal to my swerve, 1, loses a shot each if your swerve is more than 1.
All right. So she was on 11 down to 8. So she's instead on 7. Got it.
Remind me how so do you just go down to shot 1 for actions or shot 0?
The shot 1 is the last in the sequence.
Okay, gotcha.
And if you act on shot 1 and your action takes more than 3 shots, it bleeds into the next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Also, technically speaking, if you're out of shots and want to dodge, you may do so. It just bleeds into your next turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be perfectly honest, I'm still not 100% how the shot system works. I don't know when I'm to go next.
Most actions are cost 3 shots.
Yeah, so if you do an action, then you just subtract 3 what your current shot number is, and that'll be what you go next.
8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There will be exceptions because some things will specify that they are like 4 shots or otherwise, usually for bigger actions.
If you're attacked, before I roll, you can declare yourself dodging, which will give yourself +3 to your defense, but it costs you a shot.
Okay, I see.
In any event, since the wizard doesn't seem to be particularly inclined on getting involved at the immediate moment, Seno is going to continue to pursue after the rogue while basically making the declaration, I would rather that you stand down than die. I have no desire to see that.
I would rather you fight!
Getting some mixed messages there.
Seno is going to kind of make a point of just how she is definitely taking this seriously, but is not intent on, lethality. The way she's going to go about dealing with the rogue in this case is she is going to basically coil up, leap, and begin to constrict her.
Okay. Give me your attack roll.
Oof.
A 12. The rogue sees you coming, springing at her, pales a bit, and dodge rolls out. It does a combat roll out of the way.
Oh, you are very fast. I am liking this.
Please do surrender. It will make this much less difficult. I would much rather talk than fight.
Where's that blasted wizard? Moron fell down a pit. Spend time clearing a
This
path
was
to them.
very funny. We are watching.
Was there a rake there?
No. Not at least not one that is not metaphorical at least.
Okay.
All right, that is it for sorry. Anyone else on 8?
Yes.
I'm on 8.
Sorry, this is 9.
Right.
We're on 9, aren't we? Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
9. Oh, wait, more mooks.
More mooks.
One of the groups of mooks.
Oh no.
Two of the groups of
Oh
mooks
no.
rolled reasonably well. They've got
Oh
speed.
no. All mooks.
Oops, all mooks. Yes. It's not
no,
actually all
more
mooks, but yeah. So drops them down to.
Mooks, lemmings, same thing.
Oh no. Own mooks.
Only if they weigh awful.
All right, a mook for everybody. Again, these guys are not that good. Eric. Nick,
Slightly better.
Skitch.
That mook way awfuled.
Yeah, they did. They rolled boxcars and way awful.
Oh, they did. I will come back to that in a second. That's 2-way awfuls.
Hooray!
All right, so that's Eric, Nick, Skitch, Gav, and Word. All right. So, the one attacking Nick comes charging in at you, and as you shake the sheath off your sword and sort of swinging it backwards, you catch him directly in the neck. It's like, oh, stupid sheath. Yeah! And dead footman behind you. Gav, the footman is coming after you, comes charging in with his, he's got a short sword and a buckler, and he comes charging in, and he stabs you right in your cybernetic bits. It glances off, and the pommel of his sword hits him squarely in the forehead, and he falls over.
Or I actually have a slightly different flavor for that.
Okay, what is it?
He jams his sword into Zagath's shoulder, and it sparks, and he electrocutes him.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Thud.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to fix that, you git.
I'm so happy that Gav is playing his one true character, Pikachu.
All right, that's it for. I believe that's it for 9. So on to 8.
I get to go again.
So yes, Nick. So player characters on 8. Who is that? Who is that? Who's going on 8 of you guys?
Me and Nick, I think.
Okay. Decide amongst yourselves how you want to go.
I'll let Nick go first.
Okay.
All right. I am going to hang on a second. So as a result of getting his sword stuck in the minion behind him, Diesel kind of has to like yank it out. So he kind of like yanks it out in one big motion. No, actually, he has more sword trouble. So he tries to yank it out and fails. So instead, he kind of tears the minion in half and ends up kind of bashing the knight with the minion's torso that's still stuck to his sword.
Okay.
13.
13 will hit by 1.
Woohoo! All right, that is 13 damage.
13. Okay.
Because it's a 10 sword plus 3 with very strong. So.
Yep. So that is 5 wound points because he is toughness 8. 1, 2.
He said it hit by 1, right?
Yeah. So 6. Then you're right.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
He was not expecting this.
No, he really wasn't.
Now there's blood in his armor.
Okay. Ow. Ah. Gav, what does Zaga do?
Okay, he's going to also charge at the knight.
Okay.
And go in with his robot arm. Which, let's have a look. Just need to remember myself what this does.
Arm. No, robot arm.
Okay, make close range attacks with a damage value of 11.
Okay, then.
But my attack is plus 13.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay.
Nice.
So I'm gonna swing a fist at him.
You hit by
Nice.
2.
Yeah.
So 13 damage. That's 5 more wound points.
Oh, hang on a second. Hang on a second.
Oh,
Check something.
Gav might have something, yes.
Oh, it only counts if it does less than 4 wound points. More or less.
Yep. So you don't get to use your
Oh.
buzzsaw
I
bit.
don't get to use my can opener.
Ow. So yes, the goblin comes running up and swings a fist at the knight, which looks like a really stupid idea until you hear the thud of metal on metal.
Clang.
And you see the knight's breastplate dent slightly as he staggers backwards, with a look of surprise on his face.
The fuck?
Like, Nick's character makes a certain amount of sense to him. The goblin, not so much.
The goblin that hits like a Mack truck.
All right. Well, anyone else on 8? If not, the knight goes. And also the last remaining mook of Group 4. All right. The knight staggers back, plants his as he's forced back by Zogget's punch. He plants his foot to sort of ready himself, leans forward, sort of shoulders his way into sort of shield into Diesel to push him out of the way. I'm not sure who he's going to go after. He's going to go after Diesel. He's going to basically try to bash you back a bit with his sword to open you up, so that you to create an opening, sort of throw you a bit off balance, and tries to basically tries to slash into you with his very, very shiny sword.
Gotcha.
That's discrimination, that is.
I mean, you're not. By a very strict definition, you're not wrong.
But
A
you're
13.
still-
He way off.
Oh no!
No, he didn't way off.
didn't
Well,
go off
sorry.
a 6, sorry.
His positive die did not explode. My mistake.
No.
But he did miss.
So yeah, he slams into you, and you just don't move. It's like, haha! Poof! Uh-oh. He sort of looks at you over the top of his shield, grimaces slightly, and readies himself for the counterattack.
You're a bit out of your depth here, mate.
Boy, is he. The last remaining mook of that group is closest to... Is unfortunately for him, closest to Steno.
Good luck, cousin.
Yeah. He comes forward and tries to sort of half-heartedly tries to stab Steno.
Oh my.
Okay, by half-heartedly. So he comes forward. He looks very hesitant, but he actually trips, stumbles forward, and comes at you much harder than you were expecting.
I knew it was going to be the trip attack.
So 17.
Eat him!
Yeah, even if I took a defensive posture, that would hit me, so I'm just going to roll it.
All right. Well, damage on this with his short sword is...
My defense is 13,
your
so
defense
this
is by
beats me by
4.
4.
Therefore, that is... Okay, he's not... Technically, he's using a sword, but it's not a big sword. Yeah, I'm going to give him spear damage for this, so that's 9 base. So 13 before your toughness.
All right. Steno has toughness 8, so that is 5 wound points.
All right.
After this fight, Steno, we're going to ask like, "Oh, Steno, how did you get hurt there?" "I fell prone to a trip attack." "But you don't have legs." "No, that's not what I mean."
All right. That is it for 8. 7.
Hooray!
All right, player characters on 7. Work out your order.
Who else is on 7? Is it just me?
And that may be the case.
on 7?
5.
Yeah.
Skitch, you're on 7 also, I believe.
I'm on 7 as also. Yeah. Yeah, so the golem, I'm going to do a quick coin flip. Who am I going to try to use disintegration on? I'm going to do it on the knight. All right, so the golem lifts a hand. There's sort of a pulsive wave through its body as it sort of aims its hand around, passing over the moose, and just aims it at the knight that sort of ran up to for your Nick character's name, Nick.
Diesel.
Diesel, and he's going to try to use what's called a chi blast, but in this case, I call it an arcane blast at the knight with disintegration attached to it. I'll explain what it does if it hits. So that will be a 14, 16.
You hit by 4.
Okay, so it is a blast that does 9 plus 4 damage, so 13.
All right, so that'll be 5 wound points.
And disintegration means I get to utterly destroy a weapon of my choice carried by the target. So, yeah, that sword he has, it's destroyed. He just...
Yeah, the sword is very shiny and very well made, but it is also not actually magical. So
yeah, it's also not. It's not
also
a signature weapon.
Not a sword anymore. It's now basically a hilt.
Yeah.
The blade sort of basically sits there, shimmers slightly, and sort of puffs into like a cloud of sort of sparkly dust and disappears.
Yeah,
so
and then
what happens? So the sequence of events here is that this dude's been smacked around by a guy who can't seem to draw his sword properly. Then a goblin runs up and punches him in the nards. So basically, he swings his sword and it digs into one of his opponent's shoulders and does nothing. And then the sword disintegrates.
Yes.
And at that point, the golems just sort of mentioned, retreat is always an option, you know. You can leave anytime you want.
It's true, but it's no fun. You should fight.
All right. Well, Eric, you're up.
You are very quick, but not quick enough. I attack the rogue again.
Okay. She will dodge this one.
How is that not working properly?
You got 2 pluses in there for some reason.
So that is a 14, so that would probably miss.
Yes, it will. It would normally hit, but she actually dodges out. She ducks under the spike as it goes over.
That's an 18.
You are correct, actually.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
that is
right.
2 pluses in the end.
I'll
That's
hit
where
by
I
1
went
then.
All right, that's 13 becomes 14 damage, 15 because I'm off to mook.
Yep. And that removes your bonus.
Yep.
So 15.
Which is okay, because we're going to put another G point to see if to off at least one more mook.
So 15 minus her toughness of 6 is another 9 wound points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. So it's another mook down.
Yep, that's the mook that was fighting me gets accidentally backhanded by a fistful of chain.
Yep. All right, so that was in group. One of the mooks that was attacking you. I'm going to say it's group 3. All right. Oh, by the by, Ash, you may enter the fight if you wish to on shot 5. Just so you know.
And we're on shot, what, 7?
7 right now.
That's
Yes.
7 currently. Yeah.
That's accurate, yeah.
All right.
Oh, and the descriptor for my attack is the hook sweeps her leg and basically just looking to slow her down a bit.
You throw her off balance, but she managed to retain her feet. You don't quite trip her to the ground. Actually, no,
Cool.
sorry, I'm Ash. Ash, I am wrong. This sequence started on 7, so you come in now if you'd like.
Ash dropped from the call.
Oh, dope.
Oh, there.
I suspect technical issues of the strong variety.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because again, like a line was cut on their end apparently.
Oof.
Oof.
So the and she loses another shot because of water sword.
All right. Ow. Sucks to be her. So yeah, actually, the wizard comes flying up out of the on 7, I forgot. I was planning basically halfway through the sequence is when people who are not here can come in. The wizard comes flying up out of the pit. His robes are drenched. His beard is all straggly and and he's lost his hat.
Oh, poor baby.
He looks most put out. Also, he's lost his staff some along the way, but he pulls a wand out of his belt. He proceeds to do some long incantation and fires a bolt of fire at... he's picking one of you guys kind of at random right now because,
Well, he hasn't been there, so...
Right.
Yeah.
He's not sure which one of you is the big threat at the moment.
Well, he can't go wrong then.
That is correct. Skitch, a bolt of fire comes firing at you.
What? That's not fair. I did. First of all, how dare you? Secondly,
You probably are literally the biggest of us, so...
I'm probably the most,
Oh!
Yeah, whatever.
A bolt of fire comes arcing out and strikes you squarely. It hits you by however much it hits you by, and it's base damage 9 because it is, it's a fire blast.
So that's 14. So you just drop down. So that's 7.
You are not flammable, so you're not actually nothing on you is really set on fire.
Nope.
Normally, fire blast has some cool burning effects, but you're made of rock.
Yeah.
And while anything will burn if you get it hot enough, this is not in that category. So
yep.
Bezorch.
So I got hit for 7 wound points there. Just. But here's what happened though. What it actually did was it just sort of made the it makes the gold on the body just sort of gleam a little bit, like it did a nice little flame treatment on it. So it's looks nicer despite being hurt.
Yeah, you're glowing. You might be glowing a little bit, but not really.
Yeah.
No, he's been tempered. Cool.
All right, that's it for him. Is that it for 7? Then we are on to 6.
I go again.
Right, because your attacks only cost you 2 shots now.
Yeah.
Yay!
That is pretty friggin' awesome. Not gonna lie.
Honestly, the Gene Freak's starting abilities are all pretty vanilla. They're just you're stronger, you're faster, you're harder to hit. You can take weirder ones over time, but they're not bad abilities. So
I don't think anyone has bad abilities per se, but that's a.
All right, so I have an idea.
Okay.
But since it involves the wizard, I'm going to go ahead and let Steno go first, since she has been waiting for this guy to appear. So.
All right then. Since the wizard has shown up, and her attempt to strike, pounce as it were, didn't quite pan out, Steno will shift out of the rogue's line of sight, around a corner, and will basically just call out to the wizard as a fool to ensure that he's looking this way, and then give him a look that can kill.
Aha. Alrighty.
There we are.
Well, all right then. A 19.
Well, all right then.
All right.
So-
well, that'll hit by that'll hit by 7.
All right. The blast's base power for this stage of the fight is 11. So
it's 18.
18 to this wizard.
His toughness is 6, so that's 12 wound points.
The
Fucker.
the wizard gazes upon the beautiful Gorgon and has a stiffening feeling.
Yeah. He is smart enough to know that he is smart enough to know to break eye contact as quickly as possible.
Sure.
But not before he's not before Parsh's robes start turning to stone around the edges, and so he's like, no.
All right. Okay, so with that done, with my turn, I am going to use a push attack.
All right.
So I am going. The way I'm going to do this is, I am snatching the knight's useless hilt from him,
Uh-huh.
and I'm throwing it at the wizard really hard.
All right.
So this is using my mutant attack. So up, hang on. 14. So this is a damage 11 attack, a range damage 11.
All right.
And there are rules involved in terms of how smackdowns work.
Smackdown is the damage plus your swerve, basically.
Yeah, that's just this is like the total damage of the outcome of the attack.
So the smackdown is the base damage plus the amount you hit by, and his defense is 12. The wizard's defense.
If
is
you
12.
deliver a smackdown, the target flies X meters through the air directly away from you, where X equals the number of wound points you dish out.
Yeah. So however much damage you ultimately do to it, that's how much you can push it.
Yes.
By.
Okay. Can I push? I want to push him back down the pit.
Okay. That is totally fair. Let's see.
You should go down the
So
hole.
basically, this guy is distracted by being partially petrified, and I chuck something that hits him in the head. And
All
boink.
right. So it's a base damage 11. You hit by 2, so it's 13 damage. That is 7 damage. That is 7 wound points. Yeah. So 7 wound points is 7 meters. Yeah, that's enough to get him down the pit. Yeah. Back in the pit.
I've been waiting to do that since.
Since I made this character, just before this
turn,
character
thank
was born.
Thank you. Come again.
Raffle stomp the wizard. Raffle stomp the wizard.
Raffle stomp the wizard.
All right. Anyone else on 7?
Oh, that was 6.
That was 6. Sorry. Yeah.
6. Yeah.
Anyone else on 6? Oh yeah, mooks. The mooks are not excited by this prospect. All right, so there are 3 mooks in pod 1, and all right, so pod 2 will get everyone gets a mook from pod 2. 1, 2, Nick. That's Eric, Nick, Sketch, Gav, Word. Nope, not a hit. And then from pod 1, the one on Eric is.
Didn't I just off that one?
No, that was one from pod 3.
Oh, okay.
So there's one from pod 1. There's one for Eric, one for Skitch, and one for Word.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, Skitch, Word. Nope. Mook. They attack you, and yeah, they don't. You guys are all you are all skilled, badasses, really. So like, they did sort of no, really.
I'm flattered, but no. Thank you, but no.
All right, that is it for 6. We're on to 5, which is bad guy's side, the knight and the rogue.
And me.
And me.
Yes, you're back, Ash.
Yes, I'm finally able to participate.
Excellent.
Yay!
All right, so player characters who are on 5 are Ash, Gav, anyone else?
No, Nick was, but he's faster than me, so.
No, we were on the same shot because
you reduced your shots, yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so a skeleton, whom most of you recognize as Ash. Why don't you introduce yourself?
I am Ash, and I am playing Ignatius, the everyday skeleton. He is well liked by everybody, and he's known to be the union representative for all of the undead people.
All of them in the region, or just all of them?
All of them under the command of our Lord and Savior Caedrix.
Lord and Savior?
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 Well, I mean, to be fair, he's undead, so, you know, if he's been raised by him, it's like, yeah, okay, all right.
Oh, okay. Actually, you know what?
Caedrix doesn't really do a lot of the... Caedrix isn't actually a necromancer.
No, but there's rumors there, so, you know, you play off it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh, the ever powerful.
He has
Anything
necromancers work for him.
Anything to get the skeletons motivated.
Sure.
Yeah.
All they do is sit around and drink all day if you don't tell them what to do.
It's such a waste because you go straight through them.
And it makes a lot of work for the janitorial staff.
Many of them are probably also
Geriatrics.
skeletons.
Anyway, Ignatius heard all the ruckus, and he was nearby, and he just runs up. He throws a rock at the nearest spook. He's like, "Oi, you adventurers! Leave those poor innocent monsters alone."
Is Iggy, come and fight with us.
Well, that'll drop a mook. Easily.
That rock just hits him square in the head. He's out like a light.
All right, that finishes off
Don't
Mook
worry,
Pod 4.
I'm here.
That finishes off Mook Pod 4 just so I don't have to track them anymore.
I'm helping.
Yeah, well...
That's your motto. Like, I'm helping. Just...
That was effectively a 17.
Yep.
All right.
Wow.
So that is all right. So anybody else on any other player characters on 5?
Yep.
What you doing there, Zogget?
Well, since the knight is seemingly distracted by ignoring me first off, then having his sword broken, then stolen, then watching the wizard fall down the thing, Zogget's gonna just tap him on the hip. Excuse me, man. Wait till he turns around and then punch him square in the jaw.
All right.
So robot arm again. Aw.
Missed by 1.
Aw.
His jaw was a little bit further up than you thought it was.
He's too tall.
We'll see when
Got to
when
use your
tap
rocket
him,
boost to jump up that high.
when you tap him on the shoulder, instead of turning around, he gets scared and flinches away. So
Yeah.
He finds a quarter and picks it up off the ground.
I don't think I've got anything yet for when I miss.
There
No.
is stuff for that in the game. Yes.
There is, but no, I don't unfortunately have it.
All right. All right. So any other player characters on 5?
Not me.
All right. Well, it is time for the knight and for the rogue.
1 second, actually. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Let me just double check something. No, that's fine. No.
All right. Well, the rogue is going to go. She is going to. What is she going to do? She does not like the situation much, but yeah. She's going to backflip away from Mange, and midair she's going to try to snap off a crossbow bolt at you.
Bring it.
Not 31, 13. Yeah, no, it misses. A bolt thuds in the ground beside your feet because she's obviously trying way too hard to be fancy.
yeah, that was almost boxcars there.
Yeah, well, but it wasn't, so it's okay then.
Bing actually looks kind of offended that they would do so badly.
So come on, really? All right, the knight goes. The knight is looking at the situation. Sir Avalonius looks down at his no longer having a sword that was also disintegrated.
Is this symbolic?
Is this a meme?
I need to look something up here. give me 1 second before we do this. I want to double check the rules on this because I've not run second edition yet, and there's some new rules in here that I think are really cool.
You know the one thing I'm disappointed I forgot.
What?
You know when I was doing the shit with the intercom,
Mm-hmm.
Zoggy actually has deceit as a skill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep.
I should have rolled it.
I actually basically assumed you'd succeeded against the knight. He bought it. The rogue didn't.
He bought it.
He actually, as I said, he turned around and was like, "What? Do we actually find the wrong tower?" And the rogue's like, "Oh my god, you idiot!"
There's another tower?
No, there isn't actually.
I mean, maybe some of the other Dreadlords have towers, but
they do. Some of them do.
And they're not as nice as ours. Okay.
That was the thing. Like I said, he wanted the one 4 towers over. By the time he finds the next tower, it'll be long gone.
All right. As a 3-shot action, the knight is going to attempt to cheese it. He basically looks at the situation, looks at you guys, shield bashes Diesel back a bit, and turns and runs. Ah!
Fun not over. Where are you going?
All right, this is a 3-shot action. Sorry, no, it's longer than that, I think, for a unnamed character.
See, now I want an action because I want to tether grab him.
Yes, on your action, on any character's action, you may attempt a speed versus speed check to try to stop him from cheesing it, if you want.
Yes.
Otherwise, he gets away. But he is desperately trying to run away.
So is it just? It's a normal roll plus your speed.
Yeah, it is your standard roll plus but using your speed as opposed to your attack. And the difficulty is his speed.
Is it closed or open?
I believe it'll be open since we're in combat.
True. That's why I figured. Just wanted to make sure.
All right. So he is attempting to cheese it. The rogue, seeing him cheese it, has a look of, oh my god. The mooks are probably going to try to run also when they get a chance.
Well, of course they are. Now that the skeleton's here, looking rocks at them, they're gonna run away.
Well, the knight really is like, A, not as brave a knight as he thinks he is. B, things are going really bad for him. All right, so that is it for 5. 4.
Yeah, I get to do stuff.
I see.
Anyone else on 4?
Nope.
I'm on 3.
The wizard's on 4, but
All right. So having seen that display of ineptitude, I am going to try something really fancy and flashy. I'm going to jump up and do a sonic spin with the chains lashing at her.
okay.
I'm half hoping that you'll fail just so that you'll be a hypocrite.
So am I. Nope, that's really good.
Oh dear.
Oh, that Eric rolled another d6. You forgot to make that open roll.
Oh, I'm sorry.
oh no, he's gonna have to roll more dice on one of them.
Positive. Oh no.
Just roll straight
slash-
d6. Just RD6, yeah.
slash- yeah.
Oh dear God.
What? He rolled a
Oh, boy.
24.
Please don't kill her.
24. Well, that'll hit her by 10.
It's 14 because I'd off a Bootlack's turn
I know.
also.
So that's 24 damage minus her toughness of 6.
Impaired.
No. 5 wound points would impair her. So 24 minus 6 is 18. That takes her past 35. She is out of the fight. Do you want her alive or dead, Eric?
I'm going to say alive for now.
Okay. So yes, all right. So you come doing the spinning thing, and basically, you wrap her with the hook end. It sort of latches over itself, and the weighted end comes swinging in and just catches her right sort of on the right at the sort of the sweet spot of the jaw and knocks her out cold. Thunk. And then you sort of snap the chain. If you would like to spend a chi to take a mook out, you're welcome to do so.
Yeah, why not? It's
okay.
fun.
All right. So yep. Roll your d6.
Oh right. How many mooks am I offing?
Yeah. 1.
1.
All right. Another mook down. All right. Anybody else on? That's it for 4. The wizard, right? The wizard comes soaring up out of the water. Aha! Back out of the pit, even more drenched, looking even more haggard. Sees the knight running. Sees the rogue unconscious.
Yeah.
He has this look of, and he is a cheating bastard of a wizard, so he gets to teleport away.
I wanted to do one thing to him before he left, but oh well.
Skitch, he starts casting a teleportation spell. He starts casting a spell. None of you know what he's doing. Skitch, you know it's a teleportation spell. He is also attempting to cheese it.
Interesting.
And you're the only one who realizes that.
Is he using like an implement to cast this spell?
He's got his wand.
He's got his wand. Cool. I want to try to break his wand.
On your action, you may do so. That will be.
Yes.
I will say this flatly, Skitch. You will be. You may do a attempt to stop him from cheesing it check, and the special effect of his succeed will be you disintegrating his wand. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So that is it for 4. 3.
Well, no. My action's on 4.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So.
Then you may attempt to stop him from cheesing it.
Okay. So it's just gonna be the speed check, or is this can be
make
done
a speed
by
check.
other
Yep.
means?
If you want to stop him from cheesing it, yes. That is how that works.
1 second here.
No problem.
Go. All right, and let's see here. Yeah, I
open roll for your speed. A 10. A 10 will definitely beat his speed.
Yes.
His speed is not terrible, but it's not. You open it upwards.
Not
so
10.
It's not 10. That is.
So yes, he's like, "Ha! I'm casting my teleportation spell, and poof, the wand is gone."
I will also just.
He blinks a few times. Looks over at you. Looks down at where the wand is. Looks down below him, and proceeds, realizing that his wand is now gone. His flight spell now goes away, and he falls back down the pit.
He falls again.
I'll 2 things. 1, I will spend the 2 magic to disintegrate that, just because disintegrate requires spending 2 magic to do it anyway.
Okay.
And also, as he's looked at, the golem just sort of like does a little finger wave up to the wizard. It's like,
he is out of the fight. By the way, if someone stops you from cheesing it, that is actually the general result, I believe. Hang on, let me double check that.
They're just taken out of the fight in some way, just like rip. The golem just Serenicus, this like I was really leaving over the spells before
Technically
the
speaking,
session.
that's not the case, but I'm definitely ruling that he is out of the fight.
I was reading over the shticks that I saw disintegration. I'm like, oh wait, this is amazing.
Yes, it is.
Just
all right,
burn magic to disarm people.
Anyone else? Okay, that's it for 4. 3.
I'm on 3.
I'm sorry. I was actually on 4 too.
Oh, sorry. Would you like to attempt to stop Sir Avalonius from running away, Nick?
I mean, I guess, because I think that's about the only other thing I can do besides swat mooks. So, so I will try. Yeah. So this is so it's contested speed.
Yes. So one important note: if you are able to, this is true for you guys if you decide to cheese it in a fight. Also, if someone tries to stop you and fails, basically if you manage to elude one pursuer, you are considered to get away. So. Just let me know.
10.
Yeah, you succeed. Yes.
Oh, wow. It's a really good roll.
It's a very good roll, yes. Yeah, Sir Avalonius' speed is a whopping 6, so, yeah.
Well, so is mine, so...
Yeah, that was sort of my point. What would you like to do, Nick? How would you like to stop him?
I imagine that his amazing idea, it was a great idea to bash me in the face with the shield in order to stop me. He didn't realize that shields are very easy to grab.
Okay, so yeah, he does that.
So I
grabs,
just kind of
he does that
back
pivot,
onto
starts
what's
running, and you
distracted
sort of just grab the shield.
Yeah, and then bring him back into me. So.
All right. Well, you have captured Sir Avalonius. He is effectively out of the fight.
Okay, backdrop suplex.
Would you like
knock him out,
So yeah,
yeah.
he is out. Dunk. Various. I imagine some of the mooks make it away, but that we're not going to roll out for each of the mooks because that's just dumb. The fight is over. It's mostly a way for you guys to get a feel for your characters, really. But and to sort of anyway. So yes, the mook. So the adventurer attack on the tower is over.
Hooray. Victory.
You have defeated them. You have captured. Actually, you've captured the 3 named characters and a bunch of footmen.
Yep. The wizard is captured in a sense.
Well, yeah, if someone wants to go fish him out of the ocean, the underground ocean, they're welcome to do so. He is out of casting implements. He lost his staff down there the first time, and his wand has been disintegrated. So.
Hope we lost somebody.
Yeah. Yep.
What about me?
You seem to
You dropped from. Yeah.
Oh, did I?
Yep.
You closed the window, I think.
There you are.
There you go.
Oh, okay. I was in another tab. Sorry.
That's what it is. Okay. Don't worry about it.
I will go fish the wizard out with my extendo arm. Tether arm, literally fishing him.
You just have you have a crane game extension.
No, it's literally a tethered rocket punch. I can attack at range with it. It's like on a chain. But yeah, this will pull him.
I will. The golem will approach. Shoot, I'm gonna get everyone's names eventually. Eric's character, Mange. Yeah. And in remark, it looks like the newcomer is very eager to engage.
Yes, we are showing him how it is working here, but it's good. Yes, Diesel, you are doing good job. You are catching the shiny man.
Good. Kill now.
No, we are Master is having thing for him. So
torture. Okay.
Sure,
yes,
why not?
he is needing to hear him talk a long time is torture.
We just all look. We all look at him like, what? What's wrong with you?
I just like, sure, why not? But
all right. At about this time, everyone give me a notice check. If you don't have the skill notice, that is a 7.
Close or open?
Close roll. You're out of combat.
Right. Just always asking and. Oops.
Closed.
Yep.
Aha!
7.
A 6. I am
10.
very noticeable.
All right. Is that everybody?
It's not perceptive.
Oh, there we go. 9. All right. All right. Well, Rocky, as you're surveying sort of the battlefield, and you're all sort of gathering, sort of doing stuff. As you were talking to Mange, you look back towards the outer ringing fortress, and you've noticed that there's a lone human figure that is walking. That apparently has been walking, sort of picking their way past the various unconscious bodies, looks like they've gotten past both the alarm shields. The interesting thing of note, they are very clearly human. She is fairly tall for a human female, wearing and with long flowing red hair, wearing a very nice sort of shiny gold crown, and wearing a very fancy dress. To counterpoint the very fancy dress and crown, she has a very large, well-worn backpack on her back, and what looks like a actually pretty well-used scabbard at her belt with the hilt of a sword that looks like it belongs to someone who both knows how to use a sword and has been using it. But like it's well taken care of, but very clearly, used.
It's
the
Princess
golem.
Peach, the
golem will
grizzled adventurer.
The golem will just say, "Another visitor. I wonder if they'll stay for a while."
The important note is that the alarms don't seem to have gone off.
The more important.
No other visitor. There's look. We have. How is she getting past?
Yeah. By the way, she has walked through the minefield without setting a single one off, and she has apparently found one of the paths through the pit ring without actually tapping or anything like that. She just walked straight through.
The golem's going to start kind of making their way towards the human.
She sort of looks. She's looking around at the various things unconscious, her nodding.
Zeno will also approach and will hold a welcoming posture. Hello there.
The golem has
how is she getting past? Why is there no bells?
The golem will have a pleasantly neutral look to their face. They don't
take
have
it
expressions.
this is the Tower of Ivory belonging to the late great researcher Caedrix the Undying.
She is knowing the boss's name. Who are you? How are you getting here?
Ignatius is in the back. He's like, not so late, still pretty great.
That is accurate enough.
One of his slogans.
I'm terribly sorry. That was very rude of me. My name is Cynthia, formerly princess of insert kingdom name here that I've forgotten to actually name. I will name the kingdom later.
I'm very familiar with
Kingdomia, for the moment.
Kingdomia.
Can I roll history? Do I have history on that on my sheet? I think I do. Yes, I do. Info history. I'm just going to do an info check on that.
Absolutely.
14.
Oh, you've definitely heard of Kingdomia. They are a somewhat sizable kingdom, way off to the east.
Diesel's looking down at this apparently former princess with kind of like a very blank look on his face because she doesn't match any of his if knight then, if soldier then killing protocols, so he doesn't really know what to do with her.
So what brings one of your kind out here?
Looking for employment. Hopefully, let's just say there's an engagement I'm trying to avoid, and I'd really rather do something...
These were trying to avoid engagement too, and I kicked the rogue.
By employment, you mean you wish to employ... Sorry, go ahead.
If I could get any action going out here.
I mean, sorry.
Steno will make a displeased noise towards Mange for kicking the unconscious rogue, but will stay on task. A matter of love that is not your own, I presume.
Well, yeah. At any rate, yes, arranged marriages, yada, yada, yada. Not really cut out for this whole princessing thing. It's a story, but I'm not going to go into it right the moment. But yeah, I've heard tell from the research I've been able to do, Caedrix, I believe, is a former magical researcher that I'm very much interested in some of the theories on magic he's left behind. I've read a couple of his books that he left before he was forced to relocate.
Oh, he is liking to you already. I mean, can take or leave. But boss is liking you.
Zogit's gonna walk up. So human with an interest in magic, eh? You a wizard?
I know some magic, yes. I mean, I studied magic with the court wizard for a couple of years before Mother found out and stopped that because it wasn't princess-like.
Can I use my deceit roll to see if I can get any gist of whether she's
Absolutely.
Yep.
That is one of the uses for deceit. Yes.
Would that be closed?
Closed roll, yes.
Okay.
Either she is telling the truth or she's an exceptional liar.
It would stand to reason that you know a thing or two of the arcane arts, seeing as how you seem to have walked through the boards without causing any alarm.
Yeah, that was a spell I picked up from a dragon I spent a couple of months palling around with. They know a lot of things about wording spells.
That does stand to reason, yes. Well,
unfortunately, she already had a princess she already had a princess, so she really couldn't take me on, and none of the other dragons really seemed like the sort I wanted to hang around with, so I moved on.
That is most unfortunate. There are not enough poly dragons out there, I do say.
Cynthia sort of blinks once. Not exactly like that, but I see what you mean.
At this point, Diesel is actually going to cut in a conversation and say, "Crown lady not interested in romance. That is implication of word engagement. Not want to go through arranged engagements to other royal."
That is correct, yes.
Diesel can read.
Oh, that's what is happening. Diesel, I am glad you are with us now.
Classic story of wanting to find own self.
So he's just gonna start walking back to the tower, shaking his head. I swear to God, if he turns out to be the smart one.
It would mean that the two manufactured creatures are the smart ones, but anyways.
Diesel's barracks only had one book to pass around for entertainment. Read book 20 times.
Please tell me it was The Princess Bride.
It wasn't not.
Oh lordy, I hope it wouldn't be the original Princess Bride, but the edited version.
It started off as original version, eventually lost many pages from repeated use by all of soldiers in barracks, became edited version.
I love the gag of the book. It's such a good gag. At any rate, so yes, Cynthia is sort of. If it's possible, I would like to, I guess, interview for a position of some sort. I'm not sure how this works.
Well, as long as you don't come bearing arms against us, you're welcome to be amongst us for the time being.
Oh, excellent.
Normally, for those that are not already in our ranks, we typically only have holding cells, but we'll make contacts to see what can be done about this. At the very least, we have prisoners we need to process accordingly.
I take it. Oh, she looks down at Apollonius. Let me guess, he's one of those, righteous, challenge the evildoer sorts, isn't he?
Well, attempt to challenge, but precise enough.
I'm going to actually... I'm not sure exactly what the role would be, but I want to try and see if she's actually being genuine about seemingly not recognizing who Apollonius is.
That would be a deceit roll. So
if you don't have the skill, it's a 7.
So it's a 7. So
give me a 7 roll, yes.
That's the fun part about the dice. The worst you can roll is a 2.
I rolled an 8.
She seems to be honest. She
Okay.
she sees herself. I recognize the order of knights he's from, at least. Yeah, that's odd. They're usually trained to fight dragons, not... they've got a big thing about defeating dragons and rescuing princesses from evil dragons. It's astonishing how many people don't understand exactly how that whole thing works, but whatever. It's tradition, though, at this point, so the dragons put up with it. Well, actually, to be fair, most of the princes don't actually want to be there.
In any event...
yeah, right, yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Although some proper manners are in order, I am Priestess Theno.
Hey, pleasure to meet you, Priestess.
Likewise. Should you have any matters of the heart or the ocean to speak of, please do let me know.
You see her sort of blink a couple of times. You get the distinct impression she's going through her, like, what she's learned about various deities and is not finding one.
Your confusion is understandable. I am independent in the faith, not by my choice.
Very well. I'm not acquainted with all deities. Obviously, there are plenty. Our theological libraries were not as well stocked as I would have liked.
I can appreciate
Gods
that.
is boring anyway.
Oh no, the gods are
Come, we
fascinating.
take you to see Master.
Oh,
I
yes.
am Mage. I am Captain of Guard. One moment. Idiots watching, come get these for dungeons.
The troops come out and start carrying people away.
It's just like
Senna will make it clear that the rogue is to be taken into her care specifically.
Someone, whoever's carrying him off, sort of nods at you. Gives a quick salute and carries the rogue off.
Caedrix, only God that Diesel needs. Live for Caedrix, die for Caedrix.
No. Gods is stupid. No one but Steno is liking gods. It's good you live for self now. You fight for self. You eat good. You drink better. You fight best.
Diesel agrees with part of that sentiment.
So you head back inside. As you're headed in, the Rokesh comes down, the major domo, and he's sort of, yes, Your Highness, Princess Cynthia, just Cynthia, please. Rokesh has this look of sort of like confidence. She's very clearly expressed a preference for how she wants to be addressed, but that is not the thing. He's a major domo. That's like, but there's protocol. And she immediately recognizes the expression because, she's a princess.
Can't get your knickers twisted, Rokesh. Yay, she's got a thing for dragons. She might be in there.
Boy, wait a second. Major Nobo knew she was coming. Why didn't you tell us?
I didn't know she was coming.
Oh, but you recognized her the second she showed up.
I heard her name from outside. The scrying spell was still up.
Yeah, something that you weren't around for.
Sorry, Ash, you weren't here for that, right?
I wasn't over that. Objection is noted.
At any rate, yes, the master will...
Small dead body still talking. Sorry.
That's Ignatius. He's one of the local... He runs the bar and the Undead Union.
Undead.
Yes, those who were once dead but are no longer but are still active amongst us.
We call him stubborn.
Ignatius extends his bony hand, and it's just covered in rings. It's like,
so you're Yoshi P.
Iggy is being your best friend here. He will be making big drinks with many liquors. Is good.
Finally, I have somebody to enjoy this stuff.
You happen to be wandering by the mess hall when you all notice there is a most of you recognize him immediately because you know the boss. Nick, you see a wizened sort of, what looks mostly like a zombie, facially, wearing what looks like sort of actually fairly simple wizard's robes, with a pair of spectacles perched on the remnants of his nose. Talking with Greta, the head of the cafeteria. You basically, as you walk in here, saying, "Oh yes, Greta, could I bother you for a spot of tea? I have Yeah, thank you very much. Oh, some of those biscuits too. Excellent, thank you. Oh, hello.
His boss.
Ah, Mange.
Hey,
I
we
hear
are
we had
having a new
adventures.
guard member with Diesel. He is good. He fight earlier
Yes.
today. He is good at fighting.
Excellent.
This
I'm
is-
glad he seems to be working out. We had
This is
adventures.
Princess. She sneak back past wards and bombs and such. She wants job.
Hey, Prince snuck by the. I do say, you seem to be quite.
All right.
This is where his monocle would have fallen into the sea. but
Oh
he
no,
doesn't
his
have it yet.
the glasses have fallen off his nose at this point. They're fortunately on a chain.
Learning experience that.
Oh yeah.
This is Princess Cynthia of Kingdomia.
Ah. She says
Crown
yes.
lady not like be called princess though.
Yes. Cynthia is it then? Yes. How can I help you? She basically proceeds to relay that she's looking for work and such, and Caedrix gives the impression that he would be blinking rapidly in confusion at this point, but being a
Doesn't
zombie.
He has no eyelids.
Yeah.
Why is this pretty woman talking to me?
The little pinpricks of light where his eyes should be sort of, dim and fade a few times. I see. Well, I confess why and she basically says, well, see, turns out that most of the things I'm interested in and am good at aren't things that traditional princesses are expected to be good at. Also, most places aren't really looking to hire a princess to be a research assistant or librarian or anything. Librarian?
She wants to be your intern, sir.
How's your Latin? Or insert dead language here, but I'm going to use Latin just because it's a simple, good shorthand. She proceeds to basically spout something off in Latin. He's like, oh, excellent. I could definitely use some help reorganizing my library. It's gotten become quite a state. Yeah. Why don't you come on up to the library and we can take a look at it and you can give me some ideas of how we could reorganize stuff. Cynthia looks utterly delighted by this and trails after him. He pauses. Oh, Cynthia, are there going to be any issues with your family being upset about you being kidnapped by monsters or something stupid like that? She's like, yeah, that might be a problem. You're right. He kind of says, rat. So yes, he points over. Gemstone, Rocky, something or other. I never remember exactly what I originally. I apologize, Sir Golem. I forget. Seem to have forgotten your name.
One second, put that on the list here. Got it. Okay, Sir Golem. No, okay, proceed.
We have a situation. So, odds are her family will probably try to stage some sort of rescue because they'll assume she's been kidnapped. Probably offering half the kingdom as reward for recovering her. Could you look into finding a way to dissuade them, possibly? Or, I'd hate to be interrupted constantly by knights coming after her to try to rescue her from us. That would be rather a pain in the neck. So if you and some of your associates could find some sort of plan, I'd appreciate that. In the meantime, Princess, let's take a look at the library. Sorry, Cynthia. My apologies.
Mange is going to signal two of the more unobtrusive guards to keep an eye on them because, new person hanging out with the boss.
Yep.
He's got his finger under his chin. He's
The golem's raising a finger as if they're about to interject with something, and then the two are gone before they can.
Yes.
And then the golem's like, this is going to be a bit of a problem to suss out here.
Have you thought about a poster telling them it's another tower?
That is almost working. Last bet thought it would.
If family comes trying to take Crown Lady, we kill. Problem solve.
He's like, I got a better idea. We might get some money out of it. We're gonna ransom her off, Except when they come to collect, we're going to send out a carriage with a dead body in it and send it off the ravine.
I have an idea of my own, though we'll need to see if we can create a suitable substitute that would keep them off of our keep them out of our business for long enough. But I'll need to research this.
Okay. I am going to say this is where we're going to break for this session because I wanted to keep this a bit of a short session, and because I don't have anything else prepped, honestly.
And also so many tech issues, just sort of.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but this will wrap up the first session. We'll be back next week. I also wanted to give you guys some time to think about how you want to handle the situation. This is sort of an introductory thing. I also want to have some time to work out the kinks in Roll20 because I've not really used it much. So, but yes, that is going to do it for this session.
Figure out how to get map tools working, one or the other.
I'm more than happy to keep using Roll20 just because it's
It's actually it's not
the connection. Connecting to it is simple. I don't have to set up port forwarding.
Yeah, there is that.
But that's going to do it for this week, folks. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed. We'll be back next time with more shenanigans at the Tower of Ivory.
It was good. You come watch.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.